Hi everyone, I hope you're doing wonderfully today. A warm welcome back to Meghan and Harry Tales, hosted by yours truly, Adrian, your home for truth, tea and the kind of royal commentary the tabloids wish they could banish. Today we're diving into something that feels straight out of a modern royal drama, a possible peace gesture from King Charles toward Prince Harry and, most importantly, his beloved grandchildren Prince Archie and Princess Lilibet. Now don't adjust your crown just yet. This isn't some fairy tale reconciliation, but it is a sign that the walls of Buckingham Palace might be showing a few cracks, and for once not from scandal, but from something dangerously close to human decency. According to insider reports, King Charles, yes, the same monarch who once approved stories calling his son everything but a child of God, is suddenly expressing a desire to see Archie and Lilibet. Apparently Charles has told those close to him that he'd do anything to have them visit the UK, even just for a short while. And his reasoning? So he can spend his twilight years surrounded by all his grandchildren. Okay, let's unpack this. Charles wants to see the grandkids. That's sweet. But where was this loving grandpa energy when Harry and Meghan were fighting for air under the weight of racism, media smears and royal indifference? Suddenly the royal family has a soft spot when the PR winds shift. Let's not pretend this is an act of pure love with no strings attached. There are whispers, and we all know how loud palace whispers can be, that Harry is mortified by the state of his finances and feels like he can't take much more. And instead of support, he's been met with cold shoulders and tabloid daggers. Yet here he is, still trying, still putting his kids first, still open to making peace even with people who treated him like a disposable spare. Now that's strength. And let's talk about Meghan for a second. She's busy building her as-ever brand. Like the boss, she's expanding her empire with poise and purpose. And the idea that she should just pack up and head back to a country that treated her like a villain in her own love story. Please. That's like asking Beyoncé to go on tour in a club that banned her music. Not happening. Harry knows this. He knows Meghan's not going back, not when the wounds from the UK media and the institutions still bleed fresh. But he also knows his kids deserve a connection to their heritage, just not the toxic version of it. And now even King Charles might be realising the same thing. Meanwhile, Prince William is still reportedly stewing in royal resentment, clutching his grudge like it's the crown jewels. It's giving petty. It's giving, if I can't win the PR war, I'll just ghost my brother forever. Let's be real here, William's approval ratings lately. They're starting to resemble his hairline, rapidly fading and hard to track. And while Harry is out here supporting veterans, championing mental health and raising beautiful children with a woman who actually loves him for him, William is stuck in the same old royal cycle, one tabloid leak at a time. But let's not ignore the fact that things are moving. Harry's aides recently met with Charles's top communications guy at a private London club, the first real olive branch in years. And while the meeting was informal, it signals something important. Harry hasn't given up. Despite everything, he's still willing to take the high road. Because Harry knows what matters. Not titles, not tabloids, family, real family, the kind that shows up when it counts, not just when it makes a good headline. Now about this California bubble, people love to mention, yes, Archie and Lilibet are growing up in a secure, loving, multicultural household, free from courtiers and colonial expectations. That's not a bubble, that's freedom, that's healing. Harry wants his kids to know where they come from, but he also wants them to grow up in a world where they're not just symbols for an outdated institution. He's walking a fine line between heritage and healing. And frankly, he's doing it better than any royal has in decades. So, what's next? If Charles is serious about reconnecting, he needs to make more than kind statements about grandkids. He needs to back that up with genuine accountability and a willingness to protect, not just perform. As for Harry and Meghan, they don't need the royal fold, they never did. They've built something far more powerful, a family based on love, honesty and resilience. And every time they're attacked in the press, every time someone tries to rewrite their narrative, they rise stronger, louder, and more respected. Because here's the truth. Harry might have left the palace, but he kept his dignity. And that's something no royal title can buy. Let's talk about why Meghan has every reason, every right to be reluctant about setting foot on UK soil again. And spoiler alert, it's not about holding grudges. It's about survival, sanity, and safeguarding her children. From the moment Meghan entered the royal family, she was thrown to the wolves. Not introduced, not protected, thrown. The British tabloid machine didn't even wait a grace period. They launched their hate campaign like it was a national sport. Racism, misogyny, xenophobia, you name it. It was flung at her like rotten tomatoes at a Shakespearean villain. Except she wasn't the villain. She was the new Duchess, who was supposed to be celebrated for bringing modernity, diversity and empathy to an ancient institution. Instead, she was treated like an intruder in her own home. And security? Not just the physical security the royal family stripped from Harry and Meghan after their exit, but the emotional security Meghan never had while she was a working royal. She was suicidal. Let me repeat that. Suicidal. Her mental health spiraled so far down that she asked for help, and the palace said, "That wouldn't look good for the institution. Let that sink in." The same institution that bends over backward for scandal-ridden men couldn't lift a finger for a pregnant woman drowning in depression. But sure, let's act shocked when she says, "Thanks but no thanks" to a UK return. And what about the British press? The same outlets that protect Prince Andrew with velvet gloves treat Meghan like she's Voldemort in heels. Where was the outrage when Andrew paid millions to settle a sexual abuse lawsuit? Where were the think pieces, the endless debates, the screaming headlines? But if Meghan so much as closes her own car door? Scandal. The double standard is staggering. And here's the best part, Meghan doesn't need the monarchy. She's thriving without their titles, without their palaces, without their hollow approval. Her lifestyle brand, as ever, is blossoming into something bigger than just jam jars and Instagram posts. It's about storytelling, sustainability, self-care. Meanwhile, she's building a peaceful private life for Archie and Lilibet, surrounded by sunshine, real friendships and parents who prioritize emotional intelligence over tabloid tradition. Meghan doesn't want her children to grow up in the same system that told her to just smile through the pain. And can you blame her? Refusing to go back isn't bitterness, it's boundaries. And in a world where women, especially women of colour, are constantly told to be the bigger person, Meghan is showing us what it means to be the wiser person. She's choosing peace over pomp, freedom over fear. So the next time someone dares to question why Meghan won't just get over it and return to the UK, remind them of this. She survived a palace that would rather protect predators than protect her. She's not avoiding the monarchy. She's escaping the trauma. Prince Harry isn't just a royal anymore. He's a dad, and not just any dad, but one navigating the wild terrain of fatherhood while juggling the weight of the crown he walked away from. The trauma he's unpacked, and the relentless tabloid obsession still haunting his every move. Let's talk about Harry the father, not the spare, not the rebel prince, not the subject of 1,000 hit pieces. Just Harry. The man who changes diapers in Montecito, who reads bedtime stories under twinkle lights, who's desperately trying to build a life where his children don't have to pay for the sins of the past. From day one, Archie and Lilibet weren't just royal kids. They were targets. The press didn't even wait until Archie's birth to weaponize his existence with racist undertones in headlines and whispers about how dark his skin might be. Who could forget Harry's heartbreaking reveal that Meghan was suicidal during her pregnancy? That was the wake-up call. That was the moment Harry stopped being just Prince Harry and became Dad Harry, ready to fight tooth and nail for his family's safety, even if it meant sacrificing his title, his homeland and his birthright. And now, according to sources, Harry is anxious. Deeply anxious. Not just about headlines or security, but about the emotional well-being and future of his kids. He's mortified that financial pressures are piling up, but this isn't about money in a shallow sense. This is a man thinking, will my kids have a legacy to be proud of? Will they grow up safe, strong and seen for who they are, not just what blood runs in their veins? He lived through the coldness that followed his mother's death, and now he's doing everything to prevent his kids from ever living that nightmare. That's not weakness. That's fatherhood at its most powerful. And while some tabloids mock Harry for seeking his father's support or say he's desperate, let's call it what it really is. A father willing to swallow pride if it means securing a better future for his children. That's not grovelling. That's love in its rawest, realist form. Unlike the royals who hide behind protocol and push PR fairy tales about unity, Harry is out here being real, vulnerable, human. He's not putting on a performance, he's putting his family first. And honestly, that scares the establishment more than anything, because once a royal stops playing the game and starts feeling, the whole deck starts shaking. So when we say Harry's gone through a transformation, it's not just about leaving the palace gates. It's about rewriting what it means to be a royal dad. It's about choosing emotional legacy over royal lineage. And in that choice, Prince Harry didn't lose anything. He gained everything that truly matters. Thank you so much for tuning in to Meghan and Harry Tales, hosted by Adrian. If you enjoyed this breakdown of royal reality versus fairy tale fiction and want to continue defending Harry, celebrating Meghan, and roasting the royal nonsense, don't forget to subscribe, tap that notification bell, and show your love with a super thanks. What do you think? Is King Charles sincere, or is this just another round of royal damage control? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Until next time, stay bold, stay kind, and remember, we don't chase crowns, we build kingdoms.